I remember like it was just yesterday when I got my Cornell acceptance letter over email, and the first thing that I thought of was, okay, this is a scam. There's no way I've been accepted. I emailed the department, I called them just to confirm, and then it struck me. I was accepted into their master's program. Now, this is the very first Ivy League we are tackling in our Road to Success series, and while I am an alumni of Cornell University from their master's program, I will also be talking to a student who is in their undergrad program who got a full ride scholarship, 100%. So there's a lot in store for you guys in this video. We're going to tackle the application process, what exactly I think they look for in a student profile, how you can make yourself stand out, and most importantly, what you need to do in order to get that 100% scholarship. So let's get started. We are here on the Cornell campus, back at it again. I'm visiting for a few days, and I came to meet Yash, who is a first year undergrad student here at Cornell, and we have some interesting things that Yash is going to tell us about. To start off with like the biggest clickbait, he came here on a full ride scholarship. So 100%, I'm not like lying to you guys. He's going to tell us all about how he got it. So Yash, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi everyone, my name's Yash. I'm a first year student here, and I've you know how it feels, right? If you're applying to college, that question, introduce yourself. It's the worst question to start an interview. Thank you, Saloni. I guess if I had to sum myself up, I'm just someone who loves solving big problems at any and all scales, and that's what I'm here to do at Cornell.
Okay, nice. What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in the Dyson School of Applied Economics and Management.
Okay.
So, that's literally my major, Applied Economics and Management.
Got it. So, to start off with the very basics, the undergrad application process is going to be through Common App. That is just one portal that Cornell uses in order to submit your application. If you are a graduate student, you'll be using their college-specific portal, and we'll get into that in detail in a little bit. For my undergraduate students, when you are using the Common App portal, you are expected to pay an $80 application fee, which can be a little on the higher side. Other than that, their standardized testing policy is currently optional, which means that you don't really need the SAT or the ACT in order to submit your application, but it never hurts. If you are a good test taker, that can be something that you can use to stand out from the rest of the applicants. Other than that, they require a mid-year and a final year report. Now, these reports are usually for class 12, and the mid-year report is like your midterm exam. It can also be a class test if you don't have an official midterm exam, and your final year report is only required when you actually get accepted. So this is not something like at the time of application you need. It's at the time of after you finished your board exams, after you received an acceptance letter from Cornell, that is when you would need the final year reports. Lastly, a counselor recommendation and 2 LORs. Now, as you can see, they're asking for a lot of recommendations, so Cornell really does want to see how you are as a student, your character, your personality, and what your teachers have to say about you. So that's something that's really important to them as well. You ended up taking a bunch of APs.
That's
and
true.
I noticed that you had like, and I'll put a screenshot of all of Yash's achievements because there are so many, but I noticed you got like 4s and 5s in all of these AP exams.
Correct.
So do you really think that that played a huge role in your admission?
I think it did. Honestly, I think it did. Because my school didn't offer APs, right?
Okay.
Most schools in India don't. So I self-studied for 8 AP exams.
Oh my God.
And anyone who's ever tried giving an AP exam knows that it's a bit of a big deal to study for 8 of them.
I agree.
And the best part is I didn't even give myself time. I was like, hey, it's an exam, isn't it? And so I gave it like a month and a half.
Okay, and when did you actually take the AP exams? In what class?
Well, I gave most of them in 10th grade, at the end of 10th grade.
Okay.
Right after my 10th grade board exams actually, before, because remember, I gave my board exams in March early.
Yeah.
And everyone else was giving them in May. So I had that time. So I gave my AP exams in May instead, and then started 11th grade.
Okay.
And then the rest of them I gave the year after, so 2021 and then 2022.
Got it. Let's say I have biology in high school, okay, and I want to take the biology AP. So how much time do you think a student would require to study for the AP exam and give it, realistically?
Realistically, the first thing you should do before even signing up for an AP, go look at the course and exam description. It is available online. Just look up AP Biology course and exam description. That's it. It is a single PDF document. It will save your life if you go through it. Look at it. It's like a syllabus document.
Yeah.
It tells you exactly what they're going to cover. That's all you need to know how much time it's going to take. That is literally it.
With that, what do our deadlines look like? So first off, all of the Ivy Leagues, all 8 of them, do not offer spring intakes, and Cornell is no exception. There's only one deadline each year, and that is the fall deadline. Now in the fall deadline, there are 2 types that you can apply to. There is an early decision for November 1st, and then a regular decision that falls on January 2nd. Now the early decision deadline is advantageous. You can only apply to one college for early decision. It's binding. So the acceptance rate in the early decision pool is slightly higher than the regular decision. Now in addition to that, they also have the transfer deadlines, which are on March 15th. So next up, let's look at how much it actually costs to attend Cornell if you got no scholarship whatsoever. Currently, this year's tuition fee is right around $65,000, which is a lot. And the good news is, with that in mind, Cornell does offer financial aid. And the best part about their financial aid is it is up to 100% need-based. And this is something that they mention on their website very clearly. They want the students to afford their education. And we'll get into what need-based means, but this is applicable for all students, whether you are a US citizen, a non-US citizen, a citizen of any country, you are eligible for up to 100% need-based scholarship at Cornell. So what does this need-based exactly mean? The entire process of what you would do to apply for this scholarship basically means you apply to Cornell through the Common App like we discussed. On Common App, you would indicate that you need aid. You then submit your Common application and then apply through something called the CSS profile. Now the CSS profile is your financial aid application. That's what you can kind of convert this into. It asks questions like, how much do your parents earn? Do both of your parents work? How many people are in your household? What kind of expenses does your family have? Are there other people going to college? How much have you saved? What property do you have? What car do you drive? So all of these financial details are asked in the CSS profile, and then you submit your documents, supporting documents, through the IDOC, and then the college determines how much aid you need. Now with that, you need to remember that this need-based financial aid is the only type of financial aid that Cornell offers. There is no merit-based or talent-based or sports-based scholarships that are available on campus. So a lot of students from India are familiar with this scholarship known as the Ratan Tata Scholarship. And a little background to this scholarship is that the infamous Ratan Tata did graduate from Cornell University with a bachelor's in architecture, and since then there has been a large fund, an endowment fund, basically a scholarship fund that helps fund Indian students' education that are studying in Cornell. Their criteria is very simple. If you are a citizen of India and you have been offered admission into Cornell University, you are eligible for this scholarship. However, one thing I want to point out is that you cannot separately apply for this scholarship. You cannot fill out a separate application saying that you want this scholarship, or you cannot do anything to get the scholarship other than the regular process that everybody is going through. With all of this, what do you actually need to stand out? Now, this is the common data set. It's basically the whole report that shows what Cornell used last year to evaluate its students. And as you can see in this very important, or even the important tab, they give a lot of preference to your academic GPA, your essays, your recommendation, your extracurricular activities, your ability and talent, as well as character and personality.
And if you'll just look at the tower in the back, just
there's the one.
That's the view I get every single day.
That's cool.
And so This is home.
That's nice. Tell us a little bit about like the scholarship that you got and what exactly kind of like it fell under.
So I'm currently on a Tata scholarship. It's a fully funded 100% scholarship.
See, no clickbait. He got it. He's doing it. He's doing it right now.
Yeah.
People think I lie to them all the time when I tell them that it is possible, but the first step that they need to take is actually get in. So one of the first things I noticed was with all of these students that are on the campus, you obviously don't want to be stinking around the place, and you were wearing an awesome perfume. What were you wearing?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked. I was wearing Woody Chestnut by Dorsey Hair.
Yep. And for all of you guys that are wondering, these are affordable luxury fragrances that both girls and boys can use. They come in basically like travel-friendly sizes that you can carry around with you in your backpack, and excellent for college students. If you guys are interested, you can check out the link in the description below. So when you apply to Cornell, let's say you're applying through Common App, you would basically select the option that you need financial aid, let them know.
Yeah, CSS profile. You need to fill out a supplemental profile with all of your family's finances, give them your entire information about everything, right? But that's a completely separate process. That's on the side.
Correct.
The main thing is when you tick that box on the Common App, hey, I need financial aid. A lot of people are scared about this, and it's true because for most people it is true. The second you take that box, for most of us, internationals, our application goes straight into the trash. Right? A lot of universities will just flat out reject you because they don't have the budget to admit international students with financial aid. Fair game. But there's a certain comfort in knowing that despite that, a lot of us do get in with aid. And we're not all, I don't know any of us who are rocket scientists or geniuses or, crazy, brilliant people. We're humans just like you guys. We're 18-year-olds, we're 17-year-olds.
And just so like I understand, you applied for need-based aid.
Yeah.
And even though you got the Tata scholarship,
Correct.
It's not a separate application that you applied
Not
for.
at all.
And when you got the aid, the funds are coming out of the Tata Endowment Fund, which is
Correct.
why it's known as a Tata scholarship.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, it is a need-based aid.
It is a need-based aid, of course. Other universities might offer you aid without calling it a scholarship, right? I know a friend of mine here who has a scholarship, which is almost full, similar to mine, but it's not a Tata scholarship.
It's just the money is coming from somewhere else.
Exactly.
And I also noticed you had like a wide array of activities. A lot of them seemed really like unrelated to your major, which is econ that you're doing right now. So do you think that is something you did intentionally, or you just at the time didn't know and you were just doing it out of pure passion?
Well, I think there's two parts to this. The first is, hey, I'm 18, right?
You're not supposed to know everything.
Exactly. So I just kind of did what I felt was the best thing to do, right? Because, a lot of it was just, hey, I think this is a really cool thing to do. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And it is impractical to expect someone who's applying to do economics to be an economist before they even go to college.
Correct. So what would you also advise to students that say that their school doesn't offer a lot of these activities and they don't know where to start?
Because there's a lot of schools in India where students face partiality or there's a lack of opportunities for some, right? And even if there's opportunities, a lot of people just don't get to hear about them. And people get so dejected. I know people who are crushed when they don't get into their student council. That's the highest achievement they know of. But I think it's important for everyone, especially those of you who are trying to apply to the US, the UK. The world we have right now, and I'll say the same for myself right now, the world we have right now is very, very, very small. And there are infinite skies ahead of us, right? So, the way, there's an Urdu saying, right? It's, tu shaheen hai, parwaaz hai kaam tera. Tere aage aasmaan aur bhi hain. It's like you're a falcon, you're supposed to conquer. And there are skies ahead of you. So look ahead. So look beyond your school, look beyond your walls, look beyond your worlds, right? And find things to do that offer no boundaries. So, your school doesn't want to let you onto their editorial board, go write your own book. Your school doesn't want to, let you do an initiative within your school, go do it in your entire neighborhood. Your school doesn't want to send you for a Model UN conference, go chair Harvard's Model UN conference in a different city altogether. Explore bigger skies and refuse to be limited, I guess is all I can say.
Alright, yeah, so this is the Ivy League 101 course, and it basically started on August 6th.
Okay.
I will let you kind of scroll down. We've released about 8 chapters. There's a separate course for undergrad and grad students. But basically it takes students through the entire process, chapter-wise, through shortlisting colleges, what the college timeline looks like, understanding the entire process of standardized testing, converting your GPA marks, taking them through the entire process of Common App, like with like a screen share, then how to basically design and present their activities and how to write them. That's again like a big part of this whole process.
That makes sense.
Then we have the entire basically school documents, and also showing them the other portal, which is the counselor portal. So I know a lot of students, especially international students, their teachers aren't familiar with it, so they make them do it themselves. So we show them everything that they should be doing. An entire chapter that's going to come out on basically financial aid with like a CSS application walkthrough and everything.
That is really cool. No, this is genuinely amazing, because I feel like, you know, as someone who had to navigate this whole thing blindly, this would be really cool. Like, it'd be really, really useful.
And this course, by the way, it's one of the most affordable courses out there. So right now it's priced at, I think, 6,000 rupees.
Oh, what?
Yes.
That's... Oh.
Yeah. It's not like lakhs and lakhs of basically...
That is lower than one of the counselors in India charges per session. Interesting.
So yeah, so it's something that a lot of students have already taken an advantage of. We have over 100 students that use the course, like that are using it for this admission cycle. But yeah, it's good to know.
Well, that was a wonderful course.
Yep.
And you should all definitely sign up for it.
Okay.
Don't forget to use the code YashMoitra at checkout for 10% discount on the course.
We've never given the discount on the Ivy League 101 course, like never.
I mean, we've never interviewed someone here, so...
Fair enough. For my graduate applicants, you guys will be applying through the Cornell website. There's no special portal, but the website is fairly straightforward. You make your account and there is a $105 application fee that you'll be paying. Now for the deadlines, they're a little tricky because graduate programs, depending on the department that you're applying for, you may have deadlines that vary from like January 2024 onwards. So depending on whether it's a master's program, a pre-professional degree, or if it's a PhD program, it can even be like a rolling deadline, right? GRE at this point is optional, but your department can say that they need it, so make sure that you check with them first as well. Typical requirements for the application will be your official transcripts and your resume, a statement of purpose, an academic statement of purpose, 2 letters of recommendation, and proof of English proficiency. Now for graduate students, this is a lot. Unlike most colleges that just ask for 1 statement of purpose, Cornell asks for 2. There's an SOP and then there's an ASOP. So it's important to understand the difference. Now with that, graduate students can expect to pay roughly around, I would say, let's see, $40,000 to $75,000 per year, depending on what degree you apply to. Now, Cornell's fee structure is dependent on what program you're going into. For example, if it's a Master of Engineering, $62,000. If it's a law degree, $74,000, so on, right? However, you need to remember that graduate students can get research assistantships and teaching assistantships. So the difference between these two is that research assistantships are typically like working under a professor, helping out with the professor's lab research. A teaching assistantship involves helping a professor out in maybe like an undergraduate course, taking some lab sessions, supervising exams or proctoring, grading papers, things like that. Now, if you are a PhD student, you can expect to be appointed for 12 months at a stretch. And right now, Cornell offers $43,000 approximately for this 12-month period. That's the stipend. If you get appointed for a 9-month period, the contract fee is $32,000. And if you are a summer assistant, it's around $10,000. So depending on what position you get, you can expect to get somewhere around, a couple $1,000s that can be spent towards your tuition, living expenses, however you want to. But it's important to remember that master's students, especially if you're coming into your first year, you can expect to pay your first semester fee because it's really difficult to get an RA or a TA position in the first semester. When you come here, you get experience, you network, you talk to people, professors, communicate with them. From the second semester onwards, it is possible that you may get a position like a TA or an RA position. However, for the PhD students, they get funded right from the beginning. Alright guys, so that's all that I had for Cornell. This video was one of the most extensive videos that we've made. It's the first Ivy League video, and I'm super excited to share it on Cornell campus, and there's absolutely no better way to have made this video. I'm so grateful that I should actually come back here, talk to Yash, and get to know all about his background, his profile. And if you guys are watching till this point, definitely hit that like button. What question are we going to do today? So I want to know from you guys, what is your favorite breakfast food? Like your to-go, quick, easy, and all-time favorite breakfast food. For me personally, it's like chai with a side of one slice of like toasted bread or some biscuits. It's just really refreshing in the morning. Let me know what your favorite breakfast is. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know which other universities I should do next. There are going to be so many more, one by one, in this Road to Success series. And I also do on the last note, I want to point out here, even though Yash got the Tata scholarship, it is at the end of the day a need-based scholarship. So even if you're not from India, you can still apply for the need-based scholarship. It's not in your hands to select that you want the Tata scholarship. They could just get another need-based scholarship.
So yeah. And if you guys have questions or you want to reach out, feel free to reach out to either Saloni or myself. You can find me on LinkedIn by my name, Yash Moitra, and feel free to text me or just shoot her an email.
Okay. Are you also active on YouTube?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm active on, I used to have YouTube channel, it crashed and burned.
Okay.
I do have YouTube channel actually. I have my graduation speech up there, my farewell speech up there.
Okay.
So, if you guys want to have a look, go ahead.
Okay, and if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below. If you have any questions for Yash, reach out to him on LinkedIn. He's here to help too. He's starting his first year of undergrad here at Cornell, and it was such a nice experience to come down here and meet you.
Of course. And if you guys like this content and want to see more, feel free to, please leave a like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell icon, like that bell in the background.
That was perfect timing.
We can have the end notes now.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone.